Jeff, are you ready to get started?
Let's do it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rebecca Medina, and I'm the founder of TalentCheetah, one platform that organizations can use to hire incredibly talented PMs, such as many of you are on the call. What we like to do is bring meaningful and insightful content to our PM community on a monthly basis. And the last few months, we've been very focused on AI because it's becoming such an integral part of how we all work and do business. And I'm excited about today's session. The topic is the AI-driven project manager boosting productivity with ChatGPT. If you haven't downloaded ChatGPT, it is in the meeting invite. Today, Jeff will be using the free version of ChatGPT to show us some things that we can do today to help improve productivity as PMs. Welcome, Jeff. There he is. Many of you have met directly with Jeff because he onboards all of our PMs to our marketplace. So he is conducting the interviews and has been such a critical part of TalentCheetah's success. All right, very quickly, TalentCheetah, who are we? We are one free and easy to use platform for sourcing project and program management experts. We do specialize in helping SMBs hire contract PM consultants for high stakes technology initiatives. We, TalentCheetah, give hiring decision makers real-time access to our network of 150 and growing pre-screened US professionals available immediately to fill open PM roles. Our service is Cheetah Fast. A hiring manager can post their opportunity to our platform and instantly engage within minutes with potential candidates. All of our project managers are high quality and pre-screened. 80% of us are PMP certified. Jeff and I, we are both part of the TalentCheetah community, and we were a few of the first cheetahs onboarded to our platform, and we are in great company with all of you. And our platform is agile. We allow organizations to hire for part-time, full-time, temporary, on-site, hybrid. In short, whatever it is that they need, we have a PM who is available now to help them. And today I am introducing Jeff Phillips as our speaker. Jeff, as I mentioned, is our COO. He has over 30 years of executive management success. Jeff is a technology leader, a published author, and a seasoned PM consultant. Fun fact, he and I met through the TalentCheetah platform. As TalentCheetah's co-founder and COO, he is passionate about mentoring fellow PMs and revolutionizing the way that companies access talent. His career at AT&T, Bell Labs, NEC, Sony, Microsoft, Pace Americas, and Technicolor Connected Home highlights his expertise leading innovative teams to develop cutting-edge, high-revenue products. Jeff earned his BS in computer science from Wentworth Institute of Technology in Boston, Massachusetts. Any other Bostonians in the house? And he holds several certifications, including the PMP from PMI, as many of you all also have earned. He is Six Sigma Green Belt certified and has earned the GenAI for project managers. Definitely a cert that we encourage you all to look into if you are a PMI member. Jeff serves as a mentor in the PMI San Francisco Bay Area chapter's mentorship program, as well as a coach for their next generation leaders program. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to our presenter for today, Jeff Phillips.
Great. So thank you for that warm welcome, Rebecca. So the agenda for today, I put it in the meeting invite, so hopefully this is not a surprise to you. So first, we're going to talk a little bit about unleashing ChatGPT for smarter workflows, go over enhanced operations leveraging ChatGPT, and then obtaining superior processes by unveiling ChatGPT. Now, as Rebecca mentioned, I'm going to be using the free version of ChatGPT. I know that there's several different ChatGPTs available. There's the free version, which I'm going to use today because I want to show how easy it is, even before making the whopping investment of $18 a month to pay for the paid version of ChatGPT. You can use the free version of ChatGPT and obtain many of the project management results that you need. So after that, I'll go over some user stories. Now I have 9 user stories that we're going to go through using the chat version of GPT. And I'm actually going to drop out the presentation and go live. Hopefully no gremlins will attack. I'll go live using ChatGPT on my laptop and sharing my screen with you. So the 9 different user stories we're going to go through are creating and writing a PRD, writing a problem statement, writing a project charter, and I put some constraints around this just to give the ChatGPT bot some data to work with, and you'll be surprised at what a great job it does with this. And then a scope statement, a project schedule, a risk tracker, weekly minute notes, a backlog, and finally a stakeholder PIG or power interest grid. So depending on how many questions you have and how long it takes to go through, hopefully we'll go through all of these user stories. And all of them, as I said, are using the free version of ChatGPT. All right, you ready? Let's do it. So first, unleashing ChatGPT for smarter workflows. Nice pictures of ChatGPT and workflows. So you can integrate the free version of ChatGPT into your existing workflows. Many of you have workflows that are already onboarded and you're using them in your daily work, and you can integrate ChatGPT into them. You improve your workflow by using ChatGPT. You'll see when we go through some of the user stories how really brain dead simple it is to improve your workflows using even the free version of ChatGPT. So some examples of things you could do. There's 3 categories of examples that I put here. First one is task automation. You can automate your routine tasks like email drafting, report generation, and data analysis. I know if you watch television like I do, you've seen some of the recent commercials on TV about different programs. I'm not going to name them. Different programs you can use to automate your email drafting. Well, you can use ChatGPT also, the free version of ChatGPT. And the paid version of ChatGPT, of which there are a couple, gives you more, but you can still do it using the free version, which is the focus of my chat today. I know that the 3 previous AI presentations that we've given in February, basically, we had a ChatGPT, or rather GenAI, ChatGPT 101 that gave us the very introductory level of chatbots. And then that was in February. In March, we had Ify Wang give us a very detailed presentation on how to customize the paid version of ChatGPT for job search, and customize your resume to a job description, or customize your cover letter for that job description, for that resume, etc. But all of these email drafting tools you can use as part of task automation. The second area is customer support. If you work in customer success, customer support, customer engagement, all those areas, you're going to get, depending on how big your company is, you're going to get a lot of customer inquiries. Well, using ChatGPT, you can write frequently asked questions, you can do initial troubleshooting, and you can respond in an automated way to customers' inbound requests. The third one the third category that I'm using here is a VA, collaboration enhancement using a VA. You can use a VA to schedule your meetings, manage calendars, and facilitate communication among team members. Those are three of many. I'm sure Tom Boynsky and others could add many more workflow improvements. This is not meant to be an exhaustive list, but just some of the examples of workflow improvements. You should customize and fine tune your workflow improvements to match your specific needs. Obviously, you don't want to just take what the ChatGPT bot spits out. There will be cases when you'll want to modify it and customize it so that it has your own tone and speaks the language of the business industry segment that you're in. So you want to customize and fine tune it to match your specific business needs. Always take a proactive approach to adopting the artificial intelligence technology for business process improvement, because ChatGPT really is transformative. It really has a transformative potential to streamline workflows and improve productivity. You'll see that word streamline used exhaustively throughout this presentation. But these are some examples and some key takeaways about unleashing ChatGPT for smarter workflows. So now I have a couple of slides about enhancing your operations, leveraging ChatGPT. So enhanced operations, leveraging ChatGPT. So some nice pictures. By leveraging ChatGPT, the staff can shift time to position and strategically communicate about their products and services. So you can communicate asynchronously. When email was developed several decades ago, that became the advent of people communicating asynchronously, meaning someone sends a message at 10 o'clock at night and somebody else answers it at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock the next morning asynchronously. So by using ChatGPT, you can shift time and you can focus your resources to strategically communicate about the products and services that your company offers. The human resources, as an example, the human resources department can leverage ChatGPT to streamline, there's that word again, various processes, including recruitment and onboarding.
But how? Show me.
Yeah, so there's many ways to use, many ways for an HR department to leverage ChatGPT, but most especially in recruiting and onboarding, a lot of automation. Another pretty picture. This one I really like because it has the human hand and the robot hand. ChatGPT, this is probably where it's used a lot, where people haven't thought about it, where you can triage security risks and you can do an RCA, a root cause analysis, to determine how an incident occurred. And you can provide, the ChatGPT can actually provide guidance on how to remediate an incident. For example, how to remove a specific malware infection from a system. So there are other ways, and I'll go over that in the next on the next slide. But these are just three things of how you can enhance your operations in your company by leveraging the free version of ChatGPT. You can streamline your IT support, again, automating incident resolution tasks, and thereby you free your staff to focus on more critical issues. You can also use ChatGPT to generate documentation. And when we go over the user stories, you'll really see how really verbose even the free version of ChatGPT can become. Rebecca, did you have something you wanted to say? I see you raised.
Yes, Jeff, I did. Thank you so much. I wanted to answer a question that came up. It was give us an example of how we can use ChatGPT to improve HR recruitment processes. And I'll provide an example that we use here at TalentCheetah. When we have candidates for an open role, we occasionally will make minor modifications to a candidate resume in order to better match the open role And we will do this using ChatGPT by providing the GPT data from the resume, of course, absent of any personally identifying information. We don't do that, but strictly some of the past roles. And then we ask the GPT with the prompt, with a very specific prompt to re-architect the resume for for instance, technical PM in the healthcare industry. And it'll take the data that we've entered and it'll provide us with a repurposed resume, essentially, that we can then leverage to make the needed updates. Now, again, to emphasize what Jeff mentioned, you don't want to take exactly what the GPT provides because it's always going to require some level of modification and massaging, but it's much less than what you would do if you were to start that effort without using ChatGPT.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for that. Thanks for sharing that, Rebecca.
You're welcome.
All right. So again, you can use ChatGPT to generate documentation, which leverages insights and accelerates prototyping. And you can see this when we do the live using ChatGPT live, which I'll do later in this presentation. You can see that ChatGPT is very, very verbose, and it will customize the tone, customize the tense, and provide the information that you want. So it truly can provide a lot of really good quality, high quality documentation. Okay, so ChatGPT, and I like this, it analyzes data, detects anomalies, and automates tasks, which makes for improved decision-making and cost savings. So that's it for enhanced operations leveraging ChatGPT. This next section here is about obtaining superior processes by unveiling ChatGPT. And I've got a couple of slides about this. So again, some pretty pictures to captivate your attention. And then I'm going to move this over here. Always have Ify Wang, who gave our presentation in March, really specializes in the security and the safeguarding of personally identifiable information, PII, with ChatGPT. So always have safeguards in place to maintain your quality, accuracy, and ethical use of ChatGPT GenAI technology. I mean, that's first and foremost. And those of you that are available in the Bay Area, Ify is speaking on June 7th at Berkeley, University of Berkeley, on a panel talking exactly about this, about the ethical use of ChatGPT GenAI technology. If anybody wants more information about the conference on June 7th at UC Berkeley, just DM me and I'll be able to provide you that information. So you can improve the efficiency, reduce the workload, enhance creativity, which all of these together make for better decision making. You can incorporate the technology into organizational processes. Some examples of that are project management, which we're going to go over at length in today's presentation. Also, content generation, like I said in the last slide, about the copious documentation that ChatGPT can do for you. Also, decision support systems. For those of you that have been around a while, way back in 19 Forgotten, decision support systems were all the rage. And there was a lot of information about decision support systems and how they were useful in companies. Well, ChatGPT takes decision support systems to the next level. You can also use it for idea generation and brainstorming. And last but not least, for customer service automation and code generation and review. A lot of companies go with the low code or no code. A lot of products nowadays and services have no code or low code, and ChatGPT certainly helps a lot in terms of code generation and review. So continuing along the same theme of superior processes and unveiling ChatGPT for superior processes, I want to talk about 6 different examples of that, which I alluded to in the previous slide. So under project management, obviously automating scheduling and task assignment, you can use ChatGPT for that. Improving coordination and reducing overhead, you can use ChatGPT for that. And there's literally a plethora of activities in the project management domain that you can use ChatGPT for. And we're going to go over them in a few minutes here. Content generation. So some examples of content generation are automating blogs, your social media, and your marketing materials. Those are all examples of things that ChatGPT can do for you. You can ensure a consistent brand voice because you can tell ChatGPT to use a marketing flair, or to use a heavy technical flair, or to use a political flair, or whatever tone of voice and person tense, first person or third person that you want to use. So that's an example, some examples of content generation. In decision support systems, analyzing data for having insights into making fact-based good decisions, and helping make informed business choices. So those are 3 areas where you can use ChatGPT, and you unveil ChatGPT for superior processes. So continuing on the vein of process optimization, you can have idea generation and brainstorming. I mean, how many of you have sat in on brainstorming sessions, whether you're putting stickies on the board, or somebody's writing notes, or even using an automated version? ChatGPT can help you with idea generation, brainstorming, where you can generate a wide range of ideas for products and services, and you can spark creativity through unique perspectives, all through using ChatGPT. Customer service automation. So a couple of examples for customer service automation. You can automate scheduling and task assignment exactly as you do in project management, and you can improve coordination, reduce overhead exactly as you do in project management. Lastly, on the code generation review, you can assist with code snippets and reviews, and you can speed up the development and reduce errors. So here are 6 examples of how you can unveil ChatGPT for superior processes.
Hey, Jeff, can I interrupt you for a second?
Yes.
Someone has his mic on, is giving a lot of background noise, so if they don't mind, muting their phone, their microphone. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks for mentioning that. Okay, so now we're going to go into the user stories. Like I said, I have 9 user stories. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop into actually go online and go to my chat bot. So can everyone see my screen still?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see that I'm using ChatGPT, and much to my dismay, I was on ChatGPT 4.0. So you may encounter this. I already used, because I use ChatGPT every day. So I've already used my ChatGPT 4.0 limit for today. So everything I'm doing in the presentation is going to be using ChatGPT 3.5. So sorry about that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tell ChatGPT to write a PRD.
And Jeff, for those who are on the bridge, if you'd like to follow along so that you can execute these prompt engineering as well as see the output in real time, feel free to do that. I think it creates a more interactive experience, and ultimately our desire is to get you comfortable, if you're not already, using the free version, so that you can begin to integrate it into your day-to-day activities as we have.
So I do want to mention, as you know, there's the free version of ChatGPT, which I'm using now. And I do have 4.0, but I've used up my limit for today. So I'm just on 3.5 is what you're going to see. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And then here, ChatGPT Plus and ChatGPT Teams upgrades and paid for. But all I did was say, write a product requirements document. That was my only input. I gave it no other information. And it came up by itself with a smart home security system. I didn't tell it to do a smart home security system. It just came up with that on its own. And you can see it's following a structure, introduction, objectives, and it get all this information it came up with itself, right? The objectives, and then the features, security monitoring, remote access and control, automation, technical requirements, performance metrics. Look at the level of detail that ChatGPT came up with. Access UATs, those of you that have a lot of testing experience, user acceptance testing, right? Implementation plan, budgeting, right? Risks and mitigation strategies, and then a conclusion, and then some, and then it does not detail the appendices, but it does talk about them, right? User manuals, legal and regulatory compliances, and tech specs. And this is a product requirements document. So how cool is that? All I said was write a PRD, and it gave me this information. So obviously, if you give it more information, say write a PRD about this product or about that service, it will give you a lot more information. But you can see how robust the answers is, even with the free version. So now we're going to say write a problem statement for a technical project. Now I want to give it more background. Solving the fundraising, those of you that are in the startup world, the fundraising problem for technology startup companies. Boom. So obviously, if I had given it more data, it would have come up with more. But just it came up with a problem statement, you know, in the ever-evolving landscape of blah, 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 limited access to capital, high competition, complexity of fundraising, risk aversion, lack of networking opportunities, and then the objective. So the objective of the technical project to develop a solution that addresses the challenges faced by tech startups going for fundraising. So how many of us could use this, right? Take this and you can mung it, right? Modify until no good and see where it goes. Now, what I'm going to do here, the next question is a bit more, rather than have to type the whole thing in, I'm going to go here. So the third use case, the third user story is write a project charter, and then I'm giving it a lot of data, right? I'm saying the product's a cell phone, I've got a budget of this, I've got a sales volume of that, the unit cost is this, the average selling price is that, and we're going to manufacture in Thailand, Mexico, and Romania, and include the details. So I'm saying, do this for me. Uh-oh, you've reached our limit of messages. Please try again, region.
Jeff, have you tried just starting a new chat for each new topic? Because I sometimes run into this as well. If you start asking a lot of different kinds of questions within the same chat, it may bog down.
Mm-hmm.
So just open another fresh GPT window and see if that helps.
Thank you, Louisa. That worked.
Yeah.
Like new thread, start a new thread.
And you don't have to open a new window, Jeff. On the left, you can add, just click on ChatGPT. I think that will start a new session.
Thanks, Tomas.
Yeah, and that's what I meant, yeah.
Great, yeah. Okay, so here it is. I gave it all this data, right, saying write a project charter, and then it did this, right? Obviously, you got to go in and you got to fill in some data. You want to, as Tomas reminded us in March and in last month, you know, you never want to take all the data without changing it. You always want to review it, and a human has to look at it and make the changes. So obviously you got this stuff here, but look at the information, look at the detail it puts in here, right? Everything from, overview, objectives, scope, budget, sales forecast, financial projections, etc. And it's even doing some financial analysis for you like that, right? Telling you what your progress is going to be, risk mitigation, the team, the approval, and then the kickoff. Now, if you take that and you say, that looks good. Now tell me what is my profit margin? It will even do this analysis for you, right? And they say, no, give me the net profit margin. Net operating profit. Because that's giving you the gross. So there's many things you can ask. It didn't do the right thing. Profit margin.
And Jeff, I have a comment from Tanya Boyd, and it's insightful because she talks about how when you start your initial prompt, you can then conversationally go back and forth with the GPT to drill down, obtaining, much as you've done here, the exact details that you need for your specific project charter or product requirements document or whatever it is that you are using the GTP to help you create.
Good point. Good point.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, Jeff.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
So, but I think you can see how robust the responses are that you can get, and it'll be as verbose as you want it to be, right? And if we go here and we say, now let's do a project scope statement for the above project. Again, I mean, I wish I had ChatGPT years ago. Because how many times have I done this, right? And yes, you can use previous versions of what you did before, but I mean, how cool is that? It knows exactly how to write a scope statement. It knows what the structure of a scope statement, justification, objectives, deliverables, boundaries, assumptions, constraints, success criteria. It does all this for you. And so now let's go to, so we've done 4 user stories, and let's see, I think we're still good for time. Yeah, we're still good for time. Okay, so let's go to the 5th user story. So this may be a little more difficult. So we'll say, create a project schedule with milestones. Boom. And then they say, well, this is really too verbose. It's too wordy. So let's say, put it into a table. Wow, it has the project. Now let's say, let's refine it further. Add dependencies. Right, so you've got the table, it's got the milestone, the duration, the dependencies. And now let's say, create a WBS for this table. So now you see it's creating the work breakdown structure that we're all familiar with as PMs, right? And you're seeing it's adding these numbers to all of the tasks that it defines. And then say, regenerate table with dependencies and WBS. Boom. And there you have it. And of course, you can copy code, you can copy this, etc. So how cool is that? How many weeks have you gone through where you've created a project schedule? Yes, most of us use Microsoft Project or Monday or Asana or some other modern tool. But using ChatGPT, you can come up with a lot of information. So we've done the PRD, we've done the problem statement, we've done the charter, the scope statement. and version of the schedule. Obviously, creating a Gantt chart is not within the capability of ChatGPT because the free version, the paid version, as Thomas and and Louisa, I know both of you are using the paid version. Yes, you can do a Gantt chart with the paid version because you can do more graphics with it, but the free version you cannot. So now next we're going to move to a risk tracker. So we're going to say create a risk tracker. And then here it is, right? It's giving you giving you risk IDs, risk description. And again, it's just pulling this out of thin air because I didn't give it any further data, right? Obviously, if you have data of a project that you're working on, you can put that data in there and ChatGPT. The likelihood times the impact and the risk level, sometimes referred to as priority or severity. Typically, this third column is the third column, risk level or severity or priority, is likelihood times the impact. So you can see, high is high, medium high, high, medium high, etc. And then the mitigation strategy, and then the contingency. So very cool. And then it describes each one. So we've done the risk tracker, we've done the schedule, scopes, charter, statement, and PRD. So now let's take something totally different. Yes, and it's evidenced in our meeting today. Many of us, I think we've got 3 AI bots that are taking minutes for today's meeting
Yes.
to it being recorded. So now let's say create a project weekly minutes notes. And again, obviously, this will give you the format, and then you can plug in what you need, right? So you can see that, the agenda is good, and this is a great agenda to follow for weekly minutes, right? Review of previous items, updates, discussion of current issues and challenges, plans for the next week, then AOB, any other business, and then, a reminder of next time, and then, fills it up. But this gives you the structure, a template for meeting minutes. And then now something that is very useful in the agile world is create a product backlog. And again, I didn't give it any other information, right? I just said create a product backlog. And here it is. It gave you the template, item ID, user story, priority, estimate, and status. And then it just made up stuff, right? As a user, I want a high-res display. I want a long-lasting battery. I want advanced camera features, et cetera, et cetera. And it gave you the definitions of the columns in the table. Last but not least, one of my favorites for stakeholder management is the PIG, or Power Interest Grid. And so I'm going to say update, and I haven't even created one, but I'm going to say update the stakeholder power interest grid. And obviously it can't do it. A PIG is usually the 4 quadrants where you have, power on one axis and interest on another axis. And as it says, it helps in identifying the stakeholders based on their power and interest levels. That way it enables you to know how to treat them. And then, so here you see the stakeholder by title, and then, some examples of their power and their interest. And so that is, let me jump back to the presentation. So those are the 9 user stories, and I think we're doing really well on time. Yep, we're right at 12:45. So those are the 9 user stories I wanted to share with you using the free version of ChatGPT. All the things, these are common everyday project management tasks that we've done in our careers, dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of times, with the many different product development efforts that we made. So I've been doing all of the talking. So what I want to do now is I want to reach out to you guys and give you an opportunity to chime in. Rebecca, you had a question?
I believe that my hand has been up the whole time. My apologies. But what I will share is that when we launched TalentCheetah, we came up with a marketing lead magnet. And that's the link that I put into the chat now, which is a link to our project management templates. But since ChatGPT has launched, as you saw with Jeff's presentation, you can simply ask for a project charter or a PRD absent of any information, and it'll give you the framework for that particular document. So I see that our lead magnet probably is not going to be as valuable as it has been in the past. However, I do welcome ChatGPT in that it does improve our productivity as PMs, in particular for us in the area of marketing content.
All right.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll open this up for you guys to comment. So again, this is an open forum. So I'll throw this out. Whoever wants to speak, just go ahead and unmute your mic and speak. So, do you use ChatGPT or other GenAI tool for your daily work? If so, how? So who wants to speak up? Anybody?
So this is Alan. I've played with ChatGPT, or I've used ChatGPT. I've used it to help generate agreements. I've used it as a basis for generating other project documents. But what I find is it's sort of a nice tool for giving you sort of a general outline. But then I end up pretty much rewriting the whole thing because it's very generic. It doesn't really provide that level of specificity. And and even the examples you gave, Jeff, which were pretty cool, you really couldn't just take it out of ChatGPT and then throw it into a project document. So I was wondering, what your experiences have been in terms of, generating something, and then how much refinement do you find that you need to make with it as well?
I think with prompt engineering, the more information you give to the bot, the more detailed and the more customized the response will be. If you just say, write me a PRD, it's going to give you that generic version of the PRD. If you say, write me a PRD about this project with that budget, with these sales goals and these costs and these manufacturing locations, et cetera, the more details you give into it, then the more customized the response will be from the chatbot.
Okay. Yeah, I probably need to work with my prompt engineering a little bit more then.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have a question on that? And the second.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I would like to actually comment. The more you use GPT, the better it adjusts to you. It actually adjusts to your style ridiculously fast. I'm using ChatGPT daily, and within a week started to write in my speech pattern. Thankfully, it does not replicate Russian accent, but everything else works really well.
Got it. Yep, that's good to know. Yep, I agree. Very good, Elena. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you about that learning component of the GPT, and that's key in particular for your personal information, your PII. Please be careful that as you are inputting data that you're removing PII, because as Ivy and both Tomas shared with us in their past presentations, what goes in stays in forever. And so the manner in which it's learning is through the data that we all of us, as we're using it, are feeding it. So just be very mindful of what you're putting in. And as we continue to grow within AI, we know that there will be vast improvements. We're already seeing them with the various chatbots that have been launched. So
Right. Thank you,
remember,
Rebecca.
what goes in stays in.
You want to add something, Tomas?
Yes, thank you. Yes, happily it want to recreate Polish accents too. So I just one remark about ChatGPT, and that's something to Alan also. I would also like to contribute to Alan's comment. First of all, I would really encourage you, everybody, to use custom assistants, custom chatbots. Right now, you can use them even for free. I think they did this yesterday. I received this email yesterday from ChatGPT, from OpenAI, that as a free user, you can use the store. So guys, please, whatever you do, and that's specific, don't use generic ChatGPT, because you will receive generic output. Why? Because the model was trained on generic data. That's why we call them foundation models, basic models. So that's like, that's why the answer is not super precise. That's why the answer won't be super on context. Always use custom if you can use custom. Now you can use it. Everybody can click use custom chatbot from the store, OpenAI store, and look and just type project management, agile, whatever you're looking for. Use a custom pre-trained or with some extra context, with extra documents provided. So basically, this assistant, this chatbot, is basically equipped with extra content that can provide more in detail specific according to the topic. So please try this and try not to use generic ones if you're trying to create a sophisticated output.
Great, thank you very much, Tomas. Tanya, you have your hand raised.
I do, and it's just actually more of an observation on my usage of it. Like Elena said, just the more that you use it, the more that it becomes accustomed to your tone. So I do use it for some artwork. I use it for a lot of different presentations. And, I am that project manager that while I can be technical, I am very people oriented. So it is actually very good, for learning those power skills or soft skills. I mean, even when I was working for the author, I was doing a lot of research on emotional intelligence, and I was really floored by some of the psychological answers and data that it had in there. So for other project managers, if you're looking for conflict resolution or just even tips on how to navigate difficult personalities or different team dynamics, think of it as a source for that sometimes to help generate ideas.
Great, thank you, Tanya. Thank you very much. Kishore, you have your hand raised. Would you like to add to the discussion?
Yeah, actually, my request is, can you please send today's recording of today's session? I'm new to ChatGPT. It really helps me to view this session again. That way,
Sure.
it has got a lot of learning values. That's the reason I'm requesting.
Great, absolutely, Kishore. As a matter of fact, if you go to our YouTube channel, TalentCheetah has a YouTube channel, you'll see the recordings of the previous 3 presentations. And I would say within the coming days, definitely by the end of next week, you'll see this recording also on the TalentCheetah's YouTube channel.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Kishore, and welcome. Thanks for attending. Geeta, you'd like to add to the conversation?
Hi, yes, I have a question. So I used to work for HR, and they were very strict about which apps and tools were allowed on corporate networks. So I'm just curious, is ChatGPT readily available for all companies to use for their employees?
There's different versions of ChatGPT, as Ife and Tomas explained previously. There's the free version, which I demoed today, right? Which is mostly 3.5, but it goes up to 4.0, 4.00 or 4.00. But there's also ChatGPT Plus, which is the paid version. And there's also ChatGPT Teams, which not many people know about. ChatGPT Teams is for a company that has, I think, 10 or more people, and you get a site license or a per seat license or whatever arrangement you do. And then that ChatGPT is customized and only usable within your corporation. It's an enterprise-wide ChatGPT, and whatever information you have, all the PII that you may have in there is not shared with the public version of ChatGPT. So that's the advantage of using ChatGPT teams if you have, a company of 10 or more people. ChatGPT Plus, you can opt in or opt out of using, and I'm sure Tomas can add more information about that. But yes, there is a version of ChatGPT that you can use that will be private, if you can use that term, just for your company.
Right. So my question is specifically if you are hired as a PM, and would you be able to use, if the company doesn't have the ChatGPT teams, is it allowed to use on the company networks for security purposes, for safety precautions? Because when I was working back in HR, they were very strict what you can use or not on the company laptops or computers.
Yeah, I think that would be on a customer by customer and company by company basis, Geeta.
Okay.
Different companies obviously are going to have their own policies on that. So this next question I'm going to ask is, have you used, let's see, this is not cooperating. Have you used the following GenAI tools? If yes, which is your favorite and why? So this is, a shout out to ChatGPT 3.5, which you saw today, OpenAI ChatGPT 4.00, which you didn't get to see because I used up my limit before the meeting started. And then OpenAI ChatGPT Plus or ChatGPT Teams, which I mentioned. As those of you that are PMI members, there's also PMI Infinity, which is a chat bot. I don't know how many of you have used it. I have. I gravitate back to ChatGPT because it has a lot more features and functionality. And then Microsoft Pilot, and then shout out to Tomas and his company, the IBPM Blue Box AI. So you can regale us with some stories about that if you like, Tomas. And then, of course, Google's Gemini 2.0. Those of you that attended the February AI webinar, we had Snehal Kaladi that talked about his company, and he has his proprietary chatbot called Agile GPT. And then, of course, there's the Llama 3. So I'll open the floor then to any of you. Tomas, do you want to kick us off and talk about your Blue Box AI?
Thank you. Probably not. I don't want to to do too much marketing, but I will drop a links in the chat to YouTube's. First link is gonna be for our last meeting here, with TalentCheetah. So let me share this link copy, so you can guys click open the first. This is a recorded session from TalentCheetah series. Me talking about basically generative AI, and the second link, I will basically only drop my webinar about Blue Box AI. So if somebody would like to learn about private solutions, yes, you can watch also this second YouTube and learn a little bit about private solutions. But I don't want to make right now, any kind of sales and marketing. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So those of you that want to or can, I brought the chat window up here so you can see these two links that Tomas has shared with us.
Thank you, Tomas. And Jeff, I also shared a link to TalentCheetah's YouTube channel, and you'll find Tomas's presentation, Snehal's presentation. This presentation will be posted in the next couple of days. You can submit through PMI for one PDU, and the PDU category is within the body of the description on YouTube. I can also send it over. We'll include it in our deck that we'll send over to you after the call. But in the end, you can earn PDUs. We welcome you to continue to attend our sessions going forward. We will focus on AI within project management. If you have any recommendations about what you'd like to learn about in this ever-changing and exciting sector, please do reach out and let us know. If you're interested in presenting anytime in the future, we welcome you to do that as well. In the end, we are a community of PMs helping one another be successful.
Thank you, Rebecca. And
Jeff,
just
back to you.
a reminder, here is the link that Rebecca shared that goes to TalentCheetah's YouTube channel. So you can click on this, go to our YouTube channel, see the previous 3 presentations by Snehal, Ife, and Tomas, as well as some other videos right here on the channel. So with that said, I'm going to wrap it up here and say thank you very much. I really appreciate your attendance. And in true project management fashion, it's 101. So we're right on time. We're on schedule. We're on schedule. Tanya, you still have your hand up. Did you have something you wanted to add?
No, I forgot to take my hand down. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Well, thank you very much to everyone that has attended today's meeting. Really appreciate it. Good to see all of you again, and nice to meet some of you that are new.